Boruto, episode 94, A Heaping Helping the Eating Contest. So this episode, of course, is episode 2 of our mini filler arc parent-child date trilogy thing, or however many episodes it's going to end up being. This one naturally focuses on Choji as well as Cho-cho, and then going into this eating contest where, for whatever reason, this old lady has an insane vengeance against Choji winning the contest because somehow him winning is going to put them out of business, which I didn't think made any sense whatsoever, which it doesn't, because they literally, that was like, at least in, like, it's subtitled that way. I was just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, how would him winning, like, there was no winning contesting. It wasn't like, oh, you know, it's an all-you-can-eat deal, and if he won, of course he would eat, and then that would, like, screw them, because he could eat, like, 18 people's worth of food, or if not more. So I was like, how is him winning gonna take them out of business? It was like, it just didn't make any sense. They didn't make any connection whatsoever as to how him winning or eating a bunch of food was gonna make them lose anything. It was like, this makes literally no sense whatsoever. But for whatever reason, him winning was supposed to ruin the business. So this old lady was like, we gotta stop him. They bring in some ringers who are dressed like circus people. I didn't understand that. I was like, they are legitimately dressed like circus people. And so, you know, they have, you know, the gluttons, Glut, the dude, and Ton, the kid. And so they are the competitors against the Akamichi clan. And I thought it was cool. It was actually a decently funny episode. I was actually fairly entertained by it, surprisingly. My favorite part, admittedly, was probably the comedy of watching of course, the main characters that failed. So we have Rock Lee and Metal Lee. Naturally, Metal, once he realized, like, it's televised and stuff, and he's super nervous, he vomits, so he was done. So they were already out in the beginning, and then it was just the way they handle, like, Shikamaru and Shikadai and Sai and Inojin, and as you know, as they're going through these competitions, it was just funny to watch. Like the scene where they're eating like the barbecue, and Inojin's like, "Dad, you must be hungry, right?" And he tries to slide the plate over, and Sai is like, you know, there's no reason for kids to hold back, son. And they're like fighting back and forth trying to get each other to eat. So I thought that was funny. And then Shikamaru and Shikadai, of course, were like totally out of it once they ate those spicy burgers, and they were just like done for. And at the very end, when the woman does, and this was a classic of Boruto / Naruto fillers, just the dumbest, they put the dumbest BS jutsu in filler episodes, I swear to God. Then this woman has an infinite mochi jutsu. And during that scene when Boruto's like, oh crap, something's happening, and they have like the sick bay and everyone's stomach was super big, that made me laugh. But crazy episode. I was like, man, they always throw in some effing just wild filler jutsu. It was like this woman, I always think back to that ostrich, the ninja ostrich, and then they had the other filler where the ostrich met other animals that were ninja. It was just like, they just put some crazy stuff in these fillers, and it's like, just wild. I don't know. But Infinite Mochi Jutsu comes in. You know, they're going through the competition, and that's when, of course, we find out that Plan B, or I guess technically before all that stuff happens, we find out Plan B from this old woman was to basically just rig the competition. So the spicy burgers actually weren't spicy for the gluttons, and then the cups that they were using were basically, you know, half full already. So it looked like they were going through them super fast, and they technically just had half full cups. So, excuse me. Boruto is able to figure that out, so he gives the gluttons like the actual bowls after they ask for the refills and everything, and so that allows for the Akamichi, you know, Akamichis to actually catch up to him and stuff like that. They're like, okay, interesting. Then the crazy wild, you know, filler jutsu comes in with the infinite mochi jutsu. Of course, Choji does expansion jutsu and he eats it all. Like, I knew that was going to happen from the beginning. Admittedly, I would have liked to have seen more from his wife, because they show the scene where she uses, you know, lightning jutsu, and she like knock some of the mochi away from Cho-cho, and I was like, well, that'll be cool to see at least one more time. I thought, you know, we'd see like a cool blast, and then Choji would come in and eat it all. And I was like, oh, that sucks. I would have loved to have seen him do that. It kind of would have been cool to see Cho-cho actually do it like a full expansion jutsu as well. I think that actually would have been pretty sweet, and see them kind of work together, because we technically haven't seen her do that more than like maybe twice. I'm not even. Yeah, I think she did it one time. There's like one official time I could think where she did like full-on expansion jutsu. And she, of course, doesn't get as big as Choji, but there's only one time I feel like I even remember her actually doing it. And I might be making it up in my head where she only did like, it was still only a specific part. But I think she did it like at least once officially, once, maybe twice. So I kind of wanted to see her do that again. Excuse me. But we don't get to see that. Choji, of course, he gets super huge. He eats all the mochi. And then he uses like his butterfly mode, and it basically like burns off all the energy and calories like instantaneously. So he ate all this food, and he gets like, you know, ridiculously oversized, and then he does the butterfly move, burns all the calories and energy off like instantaneously, and so he's down to skinny again, and he doesn't die from eating all that food. And so of course after they win, he's hungry and he gets yelled at, and it was like, okay, well, that was the end of the episode, and that was pretty much it. Decent, funny filler episode. Of course, Boruto being the main character, he pops up again. The interesting thing is that Shino popped up again with his Kurama little puppet thing that he's feeding and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're teasing that Shino is going to be, in all the episodes just like Boruto is. He's going to keep running into him as he's feeding this this doll or whatever. But I think that would be pretty funny, because it was funny to see him in this episode. I didn't think he was going to pop up, and then that kind of gives the relation for the time frame as well, because that was the second time that they met, because when they ran into each other earlier, it was like in the morning, and then this was like, I guess, the middle of the day or whatever. So I was like, okay, it gives a time frame for exactly when certain stuff happened. Obviously the next episode is going to focus on Sada and Sasuke, and that seems like it's going to go through the whole day as well, but so did the last one, where it was, Naruto getting there in the morning, and then he takes Himawari, excuse me, on this journey to get the Kurama doll. And it's through the whole day, like it ends during the evening, and it seems like the next episode is going to do the same thing, where it goes all the way towards the end of the day. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see what that means tomorrow when the episode actually premieres, and whatever the next episode is going to be after Salary's Focus, which I would really hope just goes straight to whatever, just an ending. And Boruto, like, I mean, I would love it if the next episode was the ending. It was like focuses on Sada, and that's all we really need. If they do something with Mitsuki, I don't think I'd hate that, just because of the fact that it's such a unique paradigm, considering it's Orochimaru. I doubt that'll happen though, because he's not really like welcome in the village, so I don't think that'll really be the case. It would be interesting though, or if Mitsuki left because he knew it was happening and he went to visit Orochimaru, that could at least be entertaining. That one I think we can enjoy, because we'd get to see some weird thing with Orochimaru and Sogetsu and Karin and stuff like that. So maybe that'll happen in the episode after next, but ultimately that's just me like kind of hoping that we get something way cooler than, we see characters we don't see. That I think is a much greater dynamic. Like, we really don't see those characters at all. So, and it's never normal with them. It's not like they'll just have like a party or something weird like that. And if they did, I'd probably hate the episode, because I'm like, why would they do that to the characters? Just have them do some weird Orochimaru thing, and it'll be fine. It's a fine filler episode to do that. But gotta wait and see. So we'll go into Sada's episode tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it, admittedly, because Sasuke is coming back, so that's cool. So I always like Sasuke. He won't fight or anything like epic, but Sasuke is cool. We'll see something happen there. Sakura's in it, and she's still blushing and stuff. Like, they've married and had a kid, and I mean, I guess that makes for a good relationship. If your wife still blushes at you after all this time, that's good. Granted, he's gone all the time, so it's kind of easy to be like, man, I really miss my husband who's never here. I think that works both ways. So I don't know, good relationship, I guess, but we'll see what happens. We'll see his reasoning for coming back to the village and whatever. Kakashi's in the narration, so I assume he'll be in the episode. Being the other sort of outsider character, he'll be trying to talk with Sasuke like, hey, do you need help kind of bonding with your daughter? So we'll see how that ends up playing out. But I actually enjoyed the episode. Thought it was pretty funny. They did a good job again. I still think I like the last one better, because it was Naruto and Himawari, and it was more emotional compared to, at least the ending was fairly emotional compared to this episode, which was just comedy. But it was still cool. It was funny, at least, so it wasn't like I was annoyed by the jokes. I liked the jokes. I thought they were funny visually, and the actual stuff that was spoken. So enjoyed the episode, of course. Would love to know what you guys thought about this one, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, least favorite parts about it. I don't remember my question for the last one, if it was like I think it was what characters you guys would want to see. So at this point, I just want to know what you guys thought of the relationship that they showed between Choji and Cho-cho, because technically this is the first time like their relationship was really only touched upon during Sada's story arc, when she like first encountered Sasuke. So that was technically Cho-cho trying to look for her father and find the guy who was really her dad, and it was just Choji when he was skinny. So this is the first time we've actually seen them like truly interact for a full episode. Now that I actually think about it, that's weird, but I would love to know what you guys thought about this episode and their interaction, and how they showed the family dynamic, or the eating dynamic, I guess, of that family. So would love to know what you guys thought about that, and would like to know what you guys are looking forward to for Saturday's episode as well. What do you want to see from that, or what story elements do you hope that we'll actually end up getting from that? So please put your comments down in the comment section below, and of course, thanks for watching.